Hey, it's me, Abe Bowling, host of Insurance Tips for Contractors. I've been a contractor and tradesman insurance specialist for about the last 16 years. And today we're going to talk about general liability for contractors, top considerations for your company's general liability policy. There's really three big things that I want to review on this video. A lot of times when people are looking for insurance, there's lots of questions, right? Like, what kind of insurance do I need? What things should I be taking into consideration? Do I need all these complicated bells and whistles, or should I go with something more basic? The first thing that I get asked when people call me about general liability insurance is, what kind of coverage do I need? So going over the basics. Basically, general liability is for instances where something goes wrong. It could be if you're a painting company, some overspray on cars that are parked, and maybe the wind blows. It could be that you're inside of a customer's home, or one of your employees is inside of a customer's home, and a vase gets knocked over and broken. There's instances where people lay out floor coverings, and a elderly customer walks over the floor covering and slips and falls and breaks something. And all of those are instances that would be eligible to be considered for coverage under the general liability policy. So basically, anything that your company does wrong, or any mistake that is made in the course of your business operations, that is what general liability insurance is designed to protect your company from, a resulting lawsuit or a resulting injury or death. And I've got a million examples of different things that have gone wrong. But for the purposes of this video, we just kind of want to keep it really basic on, what do I need and what considerations. So the very first thing, what kind of coverage do I need? It really depends on where your company is at and what kind of operations your company is involved in. Every company should have a general liability policy, period. There's just too many potential lawsuits and potential issues that can come up. It's just not worth it to operate your business without a general liability policy. In a lot of states, it's required to have a contractor's license, for you to have general liability insurance coverage. If you want to do business with any other contractor, any other reputable contractor, you're going to need general liability insurance. So moving on past that, for the people that already have general liability insurance, what kind of coverage do you need? Really, again, this goes back to your specific business operations. If you are just running, kind of a smaller mom and pop style operations, then just a basic general liability policy will work just fine for you. Within that policy, not all policies are created equal. Here's point number two. Some policies have the same limits. So like your $1 million each occurrence, $2 million general aggregate liability limit policy. But they have different terms. They have different conditions. They have different exclusions. They have sometimes sublimits that are in there, like, water intrusion. There's a lot of policies out there that if you put a screw through a piece of drywall and you hit a pipe on the other side of the wall, and it causes a leak, you may or may not know about that leak right away. It could cause massive amounts of damage before it's discovered. And if it is tied back to you, obviously that would be something that would be on your general liability policy. There's a lot of policies that have a $50,000 sublimit for water intrusion. So it's really important to fully take into consideration, work with a contractor tradesman insurance specialist that knows these policies really well. So that way you're not left hanging and find out about some, weird term or condition or exclusion or sublimit on the day that you have a claim beforehand, thinking everything is fine. So you really want to get with a contractor tradesman insurance specialist to make sure that, not only are you getting the most market access that you possibly can, but that your operations actually are covered for what it is, the risk that you want to carry general liability insurance in the first place for. The third thing that I want to review is, what are my vendors requiring of me? Sometimes you work with other contractors. Sometimes you work with, retail stores doing installations or working with their customers. Sometimes it's, a new construction project on commercial and commercial buildings or something like that, homeowners associations or condo associations, all of those people are going to require a certificate of insurance from you. And tract housing is another huge example of that. They will have a very specific set of insurance requirements for your company. So when we're looking at this, we want to look at what are they requiring, and then how much does that cost. A lot of contractors kind of get themselves in a little bit of hot water. They jump from a policy that is maybe inexpensive, right? We'll just say inexpensive in comparison to other options out there, and then they jump up big time to meet the requirements of some of these really large corporations, tract home builders, giant contractors. They start doing business with them, and they get a policy that is quite expensive to meet these requirements. So one of the things that you want to know before you do that is, number one, before you sign the contract, you want to get a copy of their insurance requirements. You want to send it to your agent and find out, number one, am I in compliance with their requirements that they have right now? And if not, what will it take? What will it look like? What will the monthly payment be? What will the annual premium be to meet those requirements? Because if the amount of work, if this is a one-off job, it's highly likely that it's not going to be worth it for you to increase your policy to meet those requirements, because you're only going to get one job off of it. If this is an ongoing contract where they're going to be feeding you regular work, it could be worth it, but you really need to know, what kind of projects can you expect? How big are those projects? And then what are your profit margins going to be within those projects to know whether that makes a sensible investment for your business to make? And then what are their terms of repayment? How long does it take you? How long are you going to have to float this new insurance premium payment before you're going to see your first check back from this company? And then again, how much work are they going to be able to give you? If you would like us to review, a certificate of insurance requirement or the insurance requirements of, a contract that your company is considering, feel free to reach out to us. You can reach out to us toll free, 866-998-7283. You can ask for me, Abe, or anybody here on my team is able to take that information down and get the process started and help you out. We would love to be of assistance to your company however we can. But yeah, those are the three considerations that you should think about. Where's my company at, and what kind of coverage do I really need that covers my daily operations and isn't going to leave me surprised at the end of the day? Taking into consideration point two, not all policies are created equal. Even though they're the same limits on the certificate of insurance, there's hidden things in the policy document that that can affect coverage and affect how a claims process will go for you. And then what are my vendors requiring of me? Am I meeting their requirements? Is this going to mess up my accounts receivable by not being able to get a check from them because I'm not meeting their insurance requirements? So again, if you'd like us to review a subcontractor packet of insurance requirements for you, we'd be happy to do it. Thanks so much for tuning in.